Look, the dynamic duo!
Hey guys, welcome to the Dynamic Duo. I'm Franz.
I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Avengers Tower and the Batcave. The Dynamic Duo is here once again.
There's that voice. There's that voice I love. All right, Kevin. So again, lots of stuff to talk about. And let's start with the first topic at hand. The Fantastic Four made an announcement. Now, I don't know how official this is, and I'm going to preface this by saying, while it seems like it's a pretty official announcement, many people have reported on it. I don't want to fall for the trap because many things have been reported about the Fantastic Four movie. For whatever reason, the Fantastic Four movie gets a lot of confirmed reports or rumors that turn out to be not true. And so I want to have a caution on this. And this discussion is if this is confirmed, if this is true, then what do we think about it? We're discussing it because it sounds like it's a legitimate report, but the announcement has been made that a female Silver Surfer has been cast, and that the Fantastic Four are going to come from an alternate universe, and that Shalla-Bal, and for those who don't know, Shalla-Bal is the girlfriend, the love interest of Norrin Radd, and Shalla-Bal will be the one to make the deal with Galactus rather than Norrin Radd, and she will become the Herald of Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow the alternate universe Fantastic Four will transfer into the MCU mainstream universe, and we'll get Norrin Radd at some point in the future. What have you heard about this announcement, and what do you think about it?
I've heard the same thing you just spoke of. I do think it's official because it's been all across all media platforms, just about everywhere. Quick and to the point, I don't agree with this. Not because the surfer will be female, but I don't think the Silver Surfer should even be in this new version of the FF.
Oh, interesting.
My problem with this whole thing is basically this. If you start this franchise with Galactus and the Surfer, where do you go?
Beautifully said.
What I mean is, in terms of movie making and storytelling, if you start out with one of the biggest big bads in the Marvel lexicon, how do you build from Galactus and move forward? As I've said many times, they, in my opinion, but it's too late and they don't listen to Franz Ganal or Captain Prasa or Captain America or the Jedi Bat. So I will say they needed to start out on a lower scale, meaning the Mole Man, the Molecule Man, or someone within their lower ranks, and then build to Galactus. In my opinion, this whole idea of we must start with the big one, the evil one, is all part of Marvel and Disney's thinking of we need to recreate the energy that came from the Infinity Saga and Thanos.
Listen, I literally couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. To start with your point first, it is an absolute mistake to start with Galactus. You're absolutely right, because of the question that you asked, which is, if you start with Galactus, where do you go from there? Because Galactus has to be the ultimate threat. Having said that, there are a couple of things um, that couldn't be discussed. In other words, they could make it so that the first movie isn't necessarily the confrontation with Galactus, but rather the introduction of Galactus. So, for example, in the first Avengers movie, maybe they'll have Galactus make sort of a cameo appearance, as in he's coming, or they could do something like that with the Silver Surfer. That's one possibility. The other topic of discussion is that they seem to be headed towards a direction where it's Galactus is the main threat, but it's not really the main threat because there's secret wars and there's the Beyonder, and it's kind of mired. We don't know exactly what they're going to build up to, and it's possible that they're going to build up to something other than Galactus being the big threat. Right now, it doesn't even seem like that's where the direction is, that they're making Galactus the ultimate threat. I think right now, according to the reports, what we're getting is a secret wars. We're leading to secret wars. I've got a lot of problems. I've got a lot of problems with all of this. On the one hand, we've said before that it seems like Kevin Feige is devoting a lot of attention to the Fantastic Four, and he wants to get it right. On the one hand, we love the fact that it seems like he's going back to the actual meat of the Fantastic Four, which is the 60s and 70s Fantastic Four, rather than the modern Fantastic Four, by putting them in the 1960s. That's a very big plus. Having said that, there are several problems that scare me about this. I don't think Secret Wars is the right way to go. Modern Secret War, there are several Secret War stories. The classic one when all the heroes get put on the planet and they fight the villains and Beyonder. And then there's the modern Secret Wars with Doctor Doom, alternate universe, multi-universes crashing. That Secret Wars is not, listen, you could argue that it's a good story or not good story. That's not the point. The point is, it's not a classic, beloved, established story that had the impact that deserves to be made a movie of. For example, it's not the Dark Phoenix saga. It's not the Fall of Galactus. It's not one of those stories that any comic book reader or even a peripheral comic book reader can cite and say, oh yeah, that was an awesome story. It was just a story. I've read Secret Wars, and I personally didn't like it because it's too convoluted. It changes too many of the characters. Basically, it takes the heroism, it takes the hero and turns it into is Reed a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is Doctor Doom good? And those ambiguous sort of approach, I don't think is the way to go. We need those inspirational sort of, let's go, good guy versus bad guy, integrity versus non-integrity, and so on and so forth. So I think if that's the direction that they're going, I think that's a mistake. Now, getting to the question at hand is the female Silver Surfer. Now, you know that I am way pro diversity and including, diverse characters. We've made a video about that. I went on not a rant, but a diatribe about how what I call AIWs, anti-inclusivity warriors, how wrong they are. And so I am absolutely for introducing, whether it's female characters or minority characters or any other characters that includes diversity. Having said that, I'm also a purist, and I am absolutely against changing the characters. And the difference between me and us and the AIWs is that their fine line is diversity. So they're upset if a character's ethnicity is changed, but we're upset when a character is changed, period. So we've had issues with Hugh Jackman. We've had issues with a whole bunch of things that weren't necessarily ethnic based, but it includes ethnic based, because if you change a character's ethnicity, you're essentially changing the character. If you're changing the character's sex, you're changing the character. So I absolutely oppose this change. I oppose it because it changes the character. Silver Surfer is not Shalabal. why would you do that? Why would you make that change? So from a personal basis, I think it's a huge mistake. The same way I would think it's a huge mistake if you casted Danny DeVito to play Reed Richards. Hell, we have issues with Pedro Pascal because he doesn't quite have the long face that Reed Richards has. So I'm absolutely against changing Silver Surfer from Norrin Radd, a man, to Shalla-Bal, a woman. Absolutely against it. That's from a personal point of view. But there's another point of view that really ticks me off because I don't get it. I really don't get it. Look, Marvel has fallen into the doldrums. The AIWs, the anti-inclusivity warriors, have been coming for Marvel hard. Okay, they've accused Marvel of being the MCU, and we did a video about that disproves that whole notion absolutely and completely. But yet that accusation is there, and they're coming hard for Marvel. And anything that DC or Disney, or I'm sorry, anything that Disney or Marvel releases is seen through the lens of, oh my God, is it quote unquote woke, and do we need to hate it? And there's a lot of hate coming towards Marvel right now. So why would you Marvel? Why would you MCU like open up this Pandora's box and hit a hornet's nest of controversy when you don't need to? You're giving these guys fodder for them to go crazy and accuse you of all kinds of stupidity. You are acting woke. You are acting woke in the bad sense. Woke is misinterpreted, woke is whatever, but from their point of view, woke. And you're starting a fight that doesn't need to fight. I absolutely agree that there should be diversity. I think we need more female heroes. I think we need more minority heroes. But this strategy of changing characters actually hurts your cause rather than helps your cause. And you're not actually improving things. You're basically starting a controversy that may affect the bottom line in the outcome of the movie. These guys have already ruined good movies in the past. Movies that, Kevin, when they're released and when they're announced, the internet deems them to be bad without having seen the movie. And as a result, the box office gets affected. And so I don't understand why this movie would be made. I'm absolutely against it. And I know we've talked before about, oh, they might introduce Norrin Radd later on. It may be too late. There may be such a backlash. The AIWs may reject this movie to such an extent that it becomes a box office failure and ruins the potential for the sequels that would introduce Norrin Radd. Besides, I find that it would be horribly sexist to have Silver Surfer and then have the real Silver Surfer, a female Silver Surfer, and then have the quote unquote real Silver Surfer show up because, wait, why can't she be the real Silver Surfer? You know what I mean? Like it's a hornet's nest that does not need to be open. And if you want to have strong female characters, there are ways to do that. Kevin, there is a female Silver Surfer. She exists. Her name is Nova, okay? And she's a powerful, strong, independent character. Introduce Nova, but don't change Norrin Radd, because to do that is literally to poke your finger in the eye of an audience that, whether you agree with them or not, exists. That's my rant on it. That's my take on it. I'm absolutely against it. And I'm therefore scared these types of decisions are gonna ruin the movie and ruin where we're going with this.
Well, if you allow me, a couple of hours ago, last night, I told you part of Disney and Marvel's platform and plan was to do a TV movie based on the Silver Surfer. And from what I understand, that movie is still in the works and is still supposed to be coming.
Guys, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It actually helps our algorithm. It helps build the channel. We're trying to build this channel. Please hit the like and subscribe button, if I can say it. And this leads us to another discussion, Kevin. And that discussion, guys, join us for that discussion.